Hey guys, so let's set up a basic Hardhat project and get everything ready to start writing our smart contract. The very first step is to get all these things on your PC or your machine. Node, npm. You can choose one of this, Born or Yarn. But if you have Node, you already have npm. Born or Yarn are extras. Then you can sign up for these things, but they're not important for the part I want to show in this video. So let's set up a basic Hardhat project and scaffold it. So I went ahead, I'm gonna create a new um I have a folder where I put all my files. So encode week 2. By the way, this is for encode bootcamp for lesson 5. I'm gonna create a new folder and call this um project. I'm gonna go right inside. I'm gonna open this in the terminal. Yeah, so once I have this in the terminal, let's go ahead and see I think there's a way I can make all this squeegee. So I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this here. I'm gonna put this here. Good. Now we have a decent setup. So, right, the very first command we are going to run is, by the way, this has been well created to display everything. Because I went ahead to do this manually, I do not have to run this set of code, but you can also do this. Make sure that you're in a folder where you want to create this project. This we create a new folder. This we navigate into that folder, and then but I went to do it manually, so now I have a project and I enter the terminal. This is it. I'm gonna run npm in it. By the way, you could just copy this, paste, but this time I'm going to hard -y. So that is not here, but I will just add it for this because I just do not want to click tap tap tap. This just does and gives me the default, and you would see a file appear here, and this is a package JSON, and this contains all the. If I you should see all the information here inside the file. Let it load. Yeah, see, same thing. All right, so next, according to this guide, next thing is to do npm install save dev Hardhat. Now, save dev is a flag that tells our package manager to add Hardhat as a developer dependency. So the other dependencies are just normal dependencies, but developer dependencies differ from the normal dependencies, as in because developer dependencies do not go beyond your development environment. They are things meant to help you either compile, build, r- check for errors in your code. They're just meant to be tools used for development. They don't go beyond. They don't follow the project to the next level. And in our instance, whatever you're writing, at the end of the day, you just need to deploy your smart contracts to the blockchain. None of the files here will go with that. So that's why this is here. I'm going to like pause this video and come back once the installation is complete so that we can go on with the next things. All right, we have everything completely installed, and the next thing is to initialize a new project. And we're going to copy this command, put it here, npx alert init, hit enter, and this part is where we need to select what kind of project we want. So JavaScript project, TypeScript project, all TypeScript project but with Vim. This one and this use a different library to interact with your smart contract on the blockchain. They use Ethers. VM is is an alternative to Ethers, and its main selling point is the developer experience it improves upon from the other two packages, Ethers Web3.js. So we're going to use VM, and just because also it is written here that we should select this one. And then project root, git ignore, yes, we want that. And also, yes, we want to install the other dependencies. This should not take you long. This should not take any while, but just to be sure, I'm going to pause this and come back again. All right, so we've completely initialized that new project, and you'll see that we now have even more files in the folder. But that's not just everything. We need to do one other thing. Sometimes you might be prompted to install other dependencies, but in my case, you see, it's just one, it said. But we need even more dependencies. So I'm just going to copy this. Yeah, paste it right here. Oh no, that's wrong. I'm going to copy this again. Sure, it's copied this time. Paste it right here. And once again, hit enter and wait for it to completely install this package. Okay, so we now have the new package installed, the other package installed, and we are ready to start looking at the code in the editor. So I'm gonna go right into my project here and open it in a code editor. And the one I'm using is VS Code. You can be using something else, but VS Code just makes it the experience better for me. So I'm gonna open VS Code and open my project in it. All right, so now we have my project inside VS Code project. You can see we have some folders, we have some files. I would go quickly over what these files are. Inside contracts, you see the contracts you're writing. This is usually where you find your contract. And then this is an example contract that comes with it that just uses a number of all the feature Solidity has. This is Ignition, and it's a new feature that Hardhat is implemented that can allow you to deploy um, smart contracts to several chains at the same time. Also, we have node modules. This contains all the packages that you currently have installed. Also, we have tests, contains the test files to test your projects for is it working well and all those things. Then git ignore tells your project that this file should not be um, monitored and also not tracked for changes. Hardhat configures your Hardhat project instance. Pagilolog is a crazier version of package.json, which shows you all the packages you have installed. Um, readme.nd, just um, where you can find information more about what your project is about. This config configures the TypeScript and makes it work well with all the TypeScript files you have in your project. And so that's just what you have after installing a number of the things. You'll notice that once I open log.ts, it kind of like turned this into red. So we could fix that. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy it. I'm going to. I'm surprised that it's red though, but let's see if we can npm save dev. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay, so that's not it. I'm gonna run this instead. Okay, so npm install save dev without the models is the one that fixes it, and it's gonna install this developer dependency so that this would not be red. We don't need it, but I just don't feel very comfortable seeing this red thing in my code. Scares me. So while that is running behind the scene, we could go ahead and do something else. So following the tutorial, right, we recommended to install these two extensions, Mocha and Hardhat. So if you go to this thing, you will see um, extensions, and you can go to Mocha test, particular test explorer. So you see Mocha test explorer, that, and also Hardhat, Hard art, And Hardhat, there are several types, but we are to install this one by Nomic Foundation, the one with 12 stars, 215, 823 installs. This, and that's one we should install. All right, once you have that, the next thing to do is to configure the mocha so that it works well. I'm going to copy this code right here and also copy this, and also go there, go to my root, create a new folder, give it a name, and also paste this um, short JSON file here, format it a bit, and save it. And that's good to go. The next thing is to do what? Create an env file. So I'm gonna do the same thing. Come here, create.env, and I'm gonna copy this right here and also kind of like um, paste it. So once this is pasted, you see that we just have dummy data here, and that's because we were told to like create accounts in these providers. That is where you will fetch the keys that you put here. But for now, just use the dummy. We can easily replace them later. And I'm gonna close this. Next is to ensure that you have a git ignore and check that .env is included here. What .git ignore shows is that if you're trying to send this to the public, whatever names or file names that is listed here would not be pushed to GitHub or displayed to the public. It's just going to be mean in the code, more like you're creating a blacklist of saying these folks should not be tracked, should not be pushed, should be ignored from everything, exclude them. They are not meant to be shown to the public. So make sure you have it got .git ignore and these files are here. Then also, next step is to do npx add compile. I'm gonna open my terminal right again. Inside the this has finished installing. Very good. I could just easily use this terminal well. So next I'm gonna run npx add compile. Npx add compile, and that should compile my smart contract. And compilation means that you are taking whatever contract you've written in Solidity and is going to turn it into something that can actually be understood by the EVM. The EVM is a short form for Ethereum Virtual Machine, and it's the machine that's going to understand the code and be able to call the smart contract. So it's very important that you compile. You cannot push Solidity directly to the blockchain. It would not understand this. It does not understand English. It understands a command of binaries and codes and bits and pieces like that. You need to convert this. That's what compilation does for you. It turns this into what the EVM understands. So once you compile it, let's test. I expect a couple of these tests to fail because of my testing before making this video. For some reason, there were some weird tests that were failing. I still don't understand why. I'm gonna check them, but that's beside the purpose of this. You see, like I'm saying, 7 passed and 1 was failing. And it's this particular one that kept failing. I still don't understand why, and I suspect it's because of the VM package. Let me just show that it kind of sees that this stock contract does not exist, or maybe there's a conflict. See overload, so it does not know which one. I still don't understand. I'm gonna look deeper into it, but that's beside. Ignore the error, and we're gonna talk about it later, maybe during the class, or I'm gonna bring it up. So that's it, guys, and once you have that, you can now start creating your smart contract and working with Solidity and compiling and testing. So, and that's all for this video. One more last thing, you could create tasks. So in Hardhat allow you to create like write tasks so that you can easily run some repetitive things without stressing every time. So if you copy this thing here and paste it here, this is duplicated, so we can take this off, and you can hard VM. Oh no, task. It's gonna what? Now, what you just did is you registered this task called account, and you said this is what it's going to do, and then you wrote the function that it actually runs. So if I go to my terminal now and run npx Hardhat account, it's supposed to do this thing. It's supposed to print the list of accounts, and then this is the function that actually does the command. So you see npx Hardhat account, it prints the list of accounts. The reason we're adding the description is in case you run npx add hot help, it's going to show you a list of all the commands that is available with the Hardhat CLI tool. So if you have like a number of tasks, you see there's a task that prints the list of accounts, and that's because we added this task. If I change this to um, please accounts, right? I want to show you that this is what happens. I'm gonna run it one more time. You see that the new account is please accounts, right? That's why it's here. The other tasks that you see here are default tasks. They come packaged inside Hardhat. They just they just give you an extension to use to create your own custom tasks. So what did we do in this video? We initialized a new Hardhat project. We installed all the dependencies, and we saw how to install extensions and run a test file, compile the project, and get ready to run the actual code in the next class. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's very long, I think, and I hope I was clear enough. You can watch this in a faster speed if I talk too slow. I just wanted to be clear and not too in a hurry to get everything to sink in. Thank you so much for watching this. See you guys in the next class.